You are listening to the audio production of Becoming Girlilla, my journey to unleashing good in real life, online, and in others by Jennie Smythe, published by Resolve Editions, an imprint of Forefront Books. This book is read by the author. Be Good, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Prologue, If You Knew Your Life Was Half Over, 2008. I stepped into the dark room in the dingy healthcare facility in Long Beach, California, and gasped. My father, Pete, who was undergoing care for end-stage pancreatic cancer, had declined dramatically in the last 3 days since I'd seen him. His shrunken body was huddled under the yellowed sheets, draped over his wasting form. His eyes were closed. Pete was losing interest in life. Fear vice-gripped my heart. The room smelled of crisp antiseptic, and that didn't mask the musky blend of perspiration and bodily fluids. The glare off the overhead fluorescent lights felt wrong for dying, but that's what was happening. For years, I envisioned leaving my father to die alone as payback for all the heartache he put me through, all the times he got drunk and embarrassed me. Our relationship had turned bitter in my teens when he cheated on my mother and my parents divorced. After that, he didn't put much effort into keeping in touch with me and my older sister Kelly. I started calling him by his first name then. Despite his poor parenting track record, Pete had tried to be more involved in my life over the last 10 years. Now, in my late 20s, I finally had a new adult friendship with Pete. My hopes for a meaningful connection with him weren't high, but for the first time in years, I had them. Since his cancer diagnosis 3 months earlier, I'd made multiple cross-country trips from my house in Nashville, Tennessee, to be with him as much as possible while simultaneously juggling my job and home responsibilities. I felt worn down and exhausted. But unlike those earlier days when I'd hoped Pete would die alone, all I wanted now was as much time with him as possible. Pete must have heard me gasp. He opened his eyes and turned his head toward me. "Hey," he said, his voice raspy from lack of use. He coughed to clear his throat. "If you knew your life was half over, what would you do?" He caught me off guard. My whole body drew away from the inquiry, as if it could be avoided. What kind of question is that? A really important one. Pete's eyes were glassy, but he seemed very alert. He asked again, "If you knew your life was half over, what would you do with the rest of it?" I drew in a breath. I had been dreaming about several goals, but hadn't yet shared them with anyone or taken any action. "Well," I began slowly, "I want to start my own digital marketing agency." I let that hang in the space between us. The idea seemed far-fetched and even audacious.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?